Lemme hails from the Washington, D.C. area. She's a proud graduate of Bowie State University. She holds an MBA from the University of Phoenix. She's an international recording artist. And this amazing vocalist has toured the world, wowing crowds via pervasive, powerful music seasoned with flavors of jazz, plus old and new school R&B. Let's listen to her newest selection.
Lost my breath and it's all because of you. Something about the way you've been loving me, baby. It's got me going crazy over you. But I can't imagine life without you by my side. No man can take the place of your love, baby, your love.
Girl, this is beautiful. So, first of all, let's talk about you and this beautiful music. What made you go into singing? Was this always the plan, or is this long term, or?
I really think it was always the plan. I mean, you know, from a young age, I always knew I wanted to perform. My mother always kept me active. I did ballet, tap, jazz, talent shows. I've been writing and in the studio since I was 13. So it's just been in my blood.
It's in the blood.
In the blood.
Now, it says in here something about you being from D.C., but I heard while we were off the air something about Cleveland.
Oh, no, not Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
Definitely Washington, D.C. area.
DC.
I was born and raised in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Okay.
Yes, so D.C.
And so have you always been in music, or did you start out doing something different? I mean,
pretty much always been in music. You know, I actually participated. I was a member of the gospel choir at Bowie State University.
Okay.
I remember we toured up and we went up to New York. We were involved in a competition up there. That was a really great experience. But I was always involved in music in some facet.
So in your bio that you all sent, you've played with some of the greatest artists in this nation.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how you launched your career and how all those great opportunities presented themselves.
Yes, well, this music project was really exciting for me. I actually got to work with Sheldon Reynolds from Earth, Wind & Fire on one of my singles, The Love You Give. And the song that was just played, Your Love Takes Me, was produced by Rich Shelton. He has worked with Raheem DeVaughn, Keisha Cole, Drew Hill, to name a few.
Right.
And it was really great working with him. I also worked with a new and upcoming team called District 9. You haven't heard of them yet, but Mike Barney and Carmel, they wrote some really awesome tracks for me. Young, fresh, new vibe coming out. So,
are they in the D.C. area?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, and it's been really wonderful. And I mean, I actually got an opportunity to perform with Dennis Chambers, one of the world's greatest drummers.
Okay.
Gary Granger. I performed with them at the Bethesda Blues and Jazz. So I've had
they just had that.
Yeah. I've had the opportunity to really stand on stage and perform with some awesome musicians.
How does that happen?
I mean, you know, hard work, dedication, having the right people in your corner. I got to give a shout out to Media Business Concepts, Dwight Mims. He's pushing. He makes a lot of things happen. The team that I have working behind me, it's awesome. You know, we're going to take it to the next level.
It's a machine. It sounds like.
Absolutely.
I need a machine. That's what I need. I need a machine. So now, this is your sophomore project.
Yes.
So talk about how that was created. So you went from one piece. Is there a vast difference in the two projects?
I would say, you know, I'm an independent artist, and oftentimes when you have your first project, it's a learning experience. So I did a lot of writing on my first project, and I worked with some producers. And moving along, I've had an opportunity to work with some really seasoned producers, and who are hardcore in the game. And so this go around, what I really had to do was just kind of shut my mouth and listen, take heed, you know, soak it in. Because when you're working with greats like that, you need to be humble. You need to come into the situation willing to learn. You know,
you
and
weren't
soak it
humble
up.
before.
Well, you know, I always wanted to participate and give my input. And I did that on this project, but I understood the level of the people I was working with.
Okay.
So when they said, well, you might want to do it this way, I said, okay. You know, simple as that.
And see, that's polite. Because they didn't say, well, you need to. That's something I work on. You need to be doing something all the time, rather than that's. But that's it. That's impressive that they would even do that.
Yes.
So, out of all of the songs on this sophomore, tell us the name of the album, one, and how people can get it.
Well, the single that will be coming out is called "He Loves Me Not." And it will be coming out soon. We do not have a release date yet, but it will be coming out
So you
soon.
heard it here first.
Yeah, that was Your Love Takes Me, produced by Rich Shelton. But the single that we will be releasing first is called "He Loves Me Not," and as well as "The Love You Give," which was produced by Sheldon Reynolds.
Okay.
And that music will be coming out soon.
So now when you talk about a launch, how does one do a launch? What is that going to look like?
Oh, well, I mean, you know, it really entails a lot. You got to get that publicity right. You got to get that media going to get people aware of your project so that you just don't have, you know, this great music that no one knows about.
Right.
You know,
Right.
It's about getting the word out.
So now you're coming into this with your own singles, right?
Yes.
Your own album. What are the next steps as you look at your career and you do this? What do you do with this?
Well, you know, I'm taking it a step at a time to start. We have been really focused on putting together a really great quality product. We're going to release this, and from this point on, we're going to do whatever is presented to us, whatever we can make happen from this. You know, oftentimes you may have a plan to go over to your left and you may get pulled over to your right. I've also done acting. I minored in theater. I worked with Elliot Moffitt at Bowie State University. We did an awesome play called Platinum. I really loved doing theatrics and being a part of the whole play. And it was a great experience, and I think it's helped to shape me where I am now. And I'm at the point now where I'm ready to kind of take this where it leads me.
But see, I think that's really good that you have that solid artistic background, because the reality is when you start talking about videos and you start doing all that, you have to know how to act.
Yes.
You have to know how to perform. So it becomes a holistic approach to how you build your business, because it is a business.
It is.
What do your parents think about this?
Well, my mother, my father unfortunately passed away when I was 7 years old, but he's here. He's with me right now.
That's right.
I see you, Daddy. I'm with you, baby girl, with you. My mom's always been super supportive of me. Like I said, she always kept me active. I did karate. I went all the way up to my brown belt.
So now you got to continue, get the black.
She always just kept me active, and I thank her so much for that. Thank you, Mom. I know you're listening. Thank you, Mom, because everything she had me involved in has shaped me, and it's made me who I am now.
See, and all that martial arts is the discipline. So, and the arts are discipline, period.
Exactly.
So, and you need that in this field if you're going to be successful. You can't just be wavering hither and yon, right? So now, when you do this, are you going to go on tour? Do you open for other people, or do you create your own show? Because I see you're at Blues Alley and some other places.
I was at Blues Alley, Bethesda Blues and Jazz. I have something coming up we can talk about in a minute.
Okay, but let's talk about that.
Oh, okay. Well, this Sunday, July 26th, I will be at the Howard Theater at 1:30 p.m. Doors open at 12:30. That'll be a great show. Any and everyone come out if you're able to. Check me out.
That's the 26th, isn't it?
Yes, this Sunday. Yes, and the plan for Lemme is we will be touring the East Coast.
Okay.
and eventually going back overseas.
Yeah, there's a lot happening overseas with our artists. They love us
They
over
do.
there.
Yes.
A friend of mine, he's deceased too, and the music with you that we opened, Jeffrey Smith, he's a vocalist, and he lived in Paris for a long time, and just Clem, he's another artist. They loved it over there.
Yes. And we were pretty strategic with the music selections because, the types of R&B songs that we're doing are the kind of music that they listen to over there as well.
Because it has a jazzy vibe
Yes.
to it.
Yes.
And jazz is really important in Europe. They understand the roots and the beginnings of it, and they appreciate history. They're accustomed to history there.
Absolutely.
So now, what can they expect on Sunday? How do they get tickets? We're not going to talk about the price, but...
Right. Well, howardtheater.com, thehowardtheater.com. Tickets are available there, and they will be available the day of the show as well at the box office.
Okay. So now, will you have your own band, or how's the show put together?
Yes, it's just me performing, and it will be my band.
I love it.
Yes, so we'll be doing my original material. I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to it, and have a couple of covers in there, but it's my music. Yeah,
That's okay, but it's basically who you are, so they'll get that real Lemme vibe.
Exactly.
So now it opens on Sunday, and it's the Howard Theater in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
And we can go to
thehowardtheater.com.
Okay.
Yes.
.com. So can we hear the last part? I don't know. We didn't talk about that, but I'd like to hear. Could we get the last part on the down for that? It has a nice vibe. I wish y'all had brought me a CD or something.
I know y'all were all
You
in.
didn't bring me a CD.
Y'all were all
Why
in
did you
here
bring me-
bouncing when it was playing. We were in here grooving.
All right, Lemmy's going to be at the Howard Theater, Washington, D.C. this Sunday. You get online and get the tickets. Thanks, Lemmy, for
Thank
coming.
you,
I wish you
Marcia.
all the best. She's got the greatest spirit, y'all. We got to give this sister some
Thank you
support.
for having me.
All right, thank you.
Baby, your love, out of this world, somewhere over the moon. I am among the stars because you're like a dream come true, and that's just what you do. That's just what you do. More breaking the soul tower.
Welcome back to Keep It Moving with Marcia Jews. We keep it moving here. We go from this beautiful young woman singing this R&B jazz to Lance Lucas, who's